Yes, here again, Rene from Spain, and this is the second part of my video where I'm going to show you my CDs and DVDs that has something, soundtracks that has something to do with metal or hard rock. Actually, this is the third video because also in the first video you can see my LPs, my VHS tapes plus my cassette tapes. But I'm going fast again because I don't want these videos to be too long, like I said before too. Okay, just go on where I stopped at the previous video. If looks could kill, not turning back. Here you have Contraband on, you know, this band that was formed with members of Dixon, LA Guns, you know, quite good band. Robbie McAuley, okay, that guy was on Michael Schenker group. McAuley and the Schenker group. And Bang Tango is on here too. Carnivore, with LA Guns on it, Nitro, Slave Driver, Holland. Vain Worlds, part 1 and 2. And part 1 I have it twice. You know, one is European edition, the other one is the USA edition. And here we have a lot of songs like Bad Company's on here, Aerosmith, Black Sabbath, Bullet Boy, Cinderella, BILL&TED Experience Journey, Excellent Adventure. And here we have Tora Tora, Shark Island is on here, Extreme. Here we have The Adventure of Fort Fairlane with Billy Idol, Motley Crue, Chris Rice, Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi fame, of course. Point Break with Rats, LA Guns. Yes, that's it really. From '91. Less Than Zero. I had this on. I had this movie actually on DVD, but I didn't like it, so I traded it or I sold it. And here you have Slayer on it, Aerosmith, Poison, Danzig, The Black Rose, Johnny B. Good. Of course, that's a cover song that Judas Priest did very well. They even made a video clip with that song. You got Kicks on here, Fiona, Ted Nugent, Saga, Dirty Looks. I mean, this is an amazing hard rock and a little bit of metal soundtrack. Johnny B. Good. Nice release. The Wild One. And here we have Kiss on, Alice Cooper, Bruce Dickinson, Megadeth, Skid Row, Wasp, Fate No More, Vixen. A lot of hard rock and heavy metal on here. The Wrestler. This is not very old. This is a movie that I also had on DVD. I didn't like it, so I traded it on. And this one is from 2008, and the soundtrack is very good. With Firehouse, Cinderella, Quiet Riot, Rat, Slaughter. It's an amazing soundtrack that takes you back to the 80s, you know. This is really cool. Acept is on it too. The Transformers soundtrack, amazing. With Stamboos, Lion. You know, it's very good. I love the soundtrack too. You know, Transformers, the movie. Okay, I'm gonna show you some movies. The Black Roses. I got this from Aitor, that's nowadays singing in the band Hitten. He gave this one to me. And I have the soundtrack on vinyl. I will show you that in the other video. Theo and Conducta. I mean, this is of course an American movie. But I don't know the title in American. Let me see. But it got a lot of things to do with Kiss, this one. You know, there's some guys, they want to go and see Kiss live. So there's a lot of Kiss in here. That's quite cool. Return of the Living Dead. There's not much metal on here. You know, you got of course 45 Grave on it. But there's not much more on it, really. But I love 45 Grave, and that's why I bought this soundtrack. Because here you also can see this vinyl. You know, by 45 Grave. See? And the song Party Time, that's on this soundtrack, is also on this maxi single. See? Here we have the latest soundtrack I bought. I mean, this is the last one I bought. Rock of Ages. I went to see this in the cinema with my friend Raúl from La Nucía. We went both to the cinema to see this movie. We were only 3 or 4 people in the cinema. You know, also a woman of 70 or 80 years old. She was also watching the movie, but she left after half an hour. This is the soundtrack, and here we have also the movie. The Rockstar movie I also like very much, from 2001. And here's the soundtrack. The Motley Crue is on here, Ted Nugent. And also some songs done by the Rockstar band. The Lost Boys, Jóvenes Ocultos. This is a cult movie I love, of course. And here we have the soundtrack. Not much to do with metal. I don't think there's any metal or rock on here. But I just want to show you because, I mean, to me this is a very important soundtrack. And there's a heavy metal feeling to it because some of the guys in the movie had long hair, you know, and they looked really hard rocking and they were very cool guys, you know. Anyway, Iron Eagle, the movie. And this is the Iron Eagle 1 Part 1 soundtrack. See, here we have Eric Martin from Mr. Big is on here. Urgent, that's an our band. Adrenaline is another our band. You know, Road of the Gypsy is a good song. Helix is on here and Dio is on here too. With his song Hide in the Rainbow. See? Shocker, this is the soundtrack we are listening right now. This is the soundtrack I'm playing right now. Okay, I want to show you a couple more random things. For example, the Osbournes. You know, this is the first season. I don't know how many DVDs, or 2 DVDs. It's the first season, yes. And some documentaries I want to show you too. This is about ANVIL. Here some crew filming crew are following the band through Europe, to Japan, and in Canada. It's very cool to see the band, you know, like their daily life. On tour and off tour. Metallica. Some kind of monster. I mean, here of course Metallica had a lot of troubles, and they got this special man, you know, to try to get the band back together, really, like because they were like always fighting and having horrible times. And this is, I think, it's a very nice documentary. This Lemmy, I mean, this is very cool documentary. It came out a couple of years ago. It's a must-have. And here we have the soundtrack done by AC/DC, Iron Man 2, you see, and it's got a CD but also a DVD. Another AC/DC soundtrack from the movie Maximum Overdrive. And one of my favorite soundtracks ever is this one, Trick or Treat by FASTWAY. You know, it's an amazing movie, of course, that I have on VHS. But the music is outstanding. It's like, this is a classic Hard and Heavy album. And the last thing I'm going to show you is this tape from the Last Action Hero movie with AC/DC, Megadeth, Queensryche, Def Leppard, Anthrax, Aerosmith, Tesla. You know, this is from 1993. But I forgot to show this in the first video where I was showing the tapes. Okay, this was all. Check the other videos too. In the subscription I'm going to write down everything I showed in this video and on the previous video, so you can check things out for yourself. And if you can, of course, buy the stuff that I'm showing. And stay metal forever!